can't see that.
Very well, then allow me to show you to your room.
Very Lily. Oh my gosh, how much is the foil?
Well, be careful out there.
400 attack, 1500 defense. If this card attacks or
I'll do the side
attacks
quests
during
last.
damage calculation. That's a phase. You can pay 2,000 life points once per battle. This card gains 3,000 attack during that calculation only?
So, I will give you some context. This is from the 5th Yu-Gi-Oh! Set printed. So this card's from 2003. So this is a very old card. So you have to look at the Yu-Gi-Oh! 1 lens, with the Yu-Gi-Oh! 1 glasses on.
I don't see a cost. I see an option.
The cost isn't the effect! What are you talking about?
2,000 life points? Life is a resource.
That's a cost!
Okay. So the idea is you get this thing
Oh,
into direct combat.
we can't
with
see the
something.
back.
You have the choice of pay these
That
life
means
points
it's
to gain
completely
3,000
textureless
attack.
behind it.
To kill whatever it gets into combat with.
Correct. I would say by modern standards, 3,000 attack is still, like, a pretty, like, that's like the top end of most monsters. Yes, I know there are things in modern Yu-Gi-Oh! That can get higher, but
Okay,
like,
wow,
look
you're
at
a
the
fucking
entire
weak.
pool of the things
You're a
that can
fucking
play
wimp.
constantly,
What the hell?
big, bad boss monsters typically cap out at 1,000 more often than not.
What the hell is this for? The flying nurse fairy is going to inject you with Hulk serum?
This is actually from the anime. If you watch the anime, you'll see her.
Okay, fine.
Huh, it's you.
God, the deep lore. I'm sure it'll make
You've
sense.
made a wise choice.
You can do this when you're hitting the opponent, too. You can go face if you want to.
Is there any... Well, off you go.
You can go face. I mean, that's a lot.
Is there a card like this in Magic? Is there a card that's just like, pay, what would it be? Pay 5 life, gain 8 attack, or something?
Not quite.
Okay.
There are some analogies that at a lower scale. So, like, there's a 2-mana 2/2 that you can pay 2 life to give a +2/+2 until end of turn, activate once a turn.
Okay, that's similar-ish.
It's similar. It's
Not as big of a...
thing for 4
Right.
is like a 5-turn clock on its own. But that card, like, in old standard was good. Like, in its time, it is also a very old card. Probably
Wow, the doors are not very easy to see. Oh god.
It was good.
Oh, I miss having an undo button.
Putrid Leech? I think it's called something like Putrid Leech. It was a fine card. It's busted. I'm trying to think about how the combat mechanics are different in Yu-Gi-Oh! And there's the defense position, so this is face down, so the opponent like attacks into it, you flip it up, you pay the life points, and maybe you kill their big dragon with this, and you feel okay.
So clarify there, if this were set and you attack into it while it's set, it's still in defense.
What the?
So
it doesn't flip over.
it doesn't go into attack position, because remember, she only pumps her attack stat, not her defense stat.
Gotcha. Oh, yeah, okay. So, it's an okay defense, but... Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, I'm looking at this, and I see...
Hopefully there aren't a lot of these, so I can just use
I mean,
these.
there's definitely a cost, right? The life points are a cost, the tempo is a cost, and it probably, say it kills something bigger than it in combat, it loses 2,000 life, but it doesn't get a lot of damage through the base. On their turn, they can or you can, I mean, if you're attacking into them again, you pay more life. Like, everything has haste, so, like, the very next turn, they might just play a few things and murder you. So, I think this, I mean, I'm interested to see what you say. My impression of this card is that it is good but fun.
Final answer?
Yeah, final answer. No bansies, no restricteds. It's fun.
You would be correct, but to an extent. This might shock you. Fairy Lily was limited in the TCG, and actually, for I think one format, I think it was banned in the Asian territories, which is crazy. Fairy Lily is an exceptionally good card. And like you said, at the cost of 2k, you can pump her up to 3,400, either be able to take out their biggest monster, which for the most part in old Yu-Gi-Oh! You would have to cheat into play, or you would have to tribute summon out these large things, and Fairy Lily gave you a way to deal with it, just straight up. And then on top of it, as long as you have the life points to pay and try to counterattack Fairy Lily, you can just pump her up and just make sure that that thing dies too. So she kind of protects herself as long as you have the life points. So it's interesting because like initially people kind of looked at this at like older Yu-Gi-Oh card game mindset, right? It's like, oh, pay 2,000 life points, like that seems like a lot, right? This is if understood, you know, like fundamental card game theory, right? Where life points don't matter and all that stuff. Not to say that it didn't get played or anything like that. It was more like the playground kids kind of maybe shied away from it because it was, you know, paying 2,000 life points is a bit risky. But like the good players were like, oh, this card's nuts. Not to mention it is searchable through a million different ways. Being level 3 randomly was relevant as well. Being Earth also was randomly relevant as well for this card. Just a phenomenal card.
At least we know not to use fire.
To pull out of the set that was printed in, called it a secret rare from the older sets. And to this day, this card will still fetch a pretty penny if you want like one of the original copies. And you can imagine it is definitely it's an anime white card. Sure. So you are correct. You are correct. Wait. Because you said it wasn't banned, right? You said it wasn't banned. You said it wasn't banned. That's what you're going with.
Just making sure, because sometimes it's like, well, this territory, and that territory.
We always go by the team stuff for our game. So, but I did think it was interesting this card got banned from one format in the issue. That's fascinating. For people who know. Okay. So.
Fusion spell card. This art is cool.
It is cool art.
I must stick to using ice.
I like that. Alright, pay 2,000 life points and won't play special summons many of their remove from play monsters as possible. Remove from play monsters?
That is banished before they formalize the term.
Oh god.
Alright. In your case, Nancy.
Alright, so this you have up to 3 of these. Yeah, this is like your payoff of some kind of a deck that somehow combo banishes all your monsters. Either goes through and
how can you dodge? You're already so fucking tough.
Banishes your deck. There's probably something that does that. The bold players is the creepy part because it does, like, it's one of those things where I guess you have to take it out of the mirror, but then does your deck work at all? Or is it just something that you can do so fast that you can get so early that this isn't a problem when this card increases with its dimensional presence?
It's another early card. I believe it was the first set in 2004, I remember it serves. So we're a year later from Injection Berry.
Eternal format, over time, is there a deck that is like perfect deck, like milling and vanishing and stuff? But that's the weird thing, is a lot of the cards you show me that do like the most busted things and the whole graveyard is second-hand thing. It's like, do we even want the extra step? Just reanimate your graveyard. What's wrong with you? Like, reanimate the banished pile and give our opponent something. But it feels like over time there's gotta be something. There's gotta be something that let us, I don't know, go for a deck and like banish 5 things. I'm trying to think of all the stupid cards you've shown me. And how many of them just banish the hell out of your cards? I don't know for sure. I mean, this is obviously a potentially busted end payoff of, now here's all this stuff, it all has haste, it can all attack, it can all smash you. And if your opponent didn't banish nearly as much stuff, because either they're not playing this deck, or because you set yourself up for all this, then this card can be a mega payoff. Is that what this game needs? I figure it's powerful enough that at some point it probably had a deck. It feels like in Eternal format at some point it had a deck. And if you can, like, basically create a whole board out of one card after doing the Yu-Gi-Oh! 2 of special summon, special summon, special summon, special summon, special summon, special summon, banish all this stuff, play this, bring it all out, swing, you win. Like, this does, you know how sometimes we talk about, like, did this card need to be restricted, did this card need to be banned, was this just a layer in the archetype? Like, you ban this, you kind of solve that archetype problem. So I can see a case in a world where this is restricted or banned. I don't know if it ever got there, but I want to assume in an internal format that can happen. If you tell me that this is just bad, it's probably because the graveyard reanimation combo stuff is so much better. The vanishing combo stuff just hasn't shaped. But all you need, I swear to God, is one freaking monster that can go through your deck and vanish like half your deck, right? And then you play this and you're there. So I'm gonna say at some point, do they have to ban it? Kind of a cool combo card. If you restrict it, it makes the deck more difficult. Do they have to ban it? Oh God, I would. Alright, I'll just say at some point this week. Let's do it. There's alarm bells here. I don't know if it got there, but let's go with it.
So, Dimension Fusion was released in a set known as Invasion of Chaos. This was a set that was one of the first sets to really focusing on banishing or removing things from play. And so there were plenty of big payoffs that ended up doing this. And so you said, why would you kind of go through the extra steps when you could just get it from the graveyard? Well, this was kind of like a mass way to bring everything back, and there wasn't like a mass way to do that from the graveyard. There was plenty of cards that brought stuff back from the graveyard, but not everything. And so this was a payoff for a deck that could take advantage of it, and this card was busted as fuck. This card is so degenerate that it is still banned today. You got it right, CG. Part 2. This card's never coming off the ban list. One thing you may have missed is that since both players special summon as many as possible, if your opponent doesn't have any, then it's like it's one-sided, so it doesn't matter. It's still just one of the craziest cards ever printed, and so much so it only had a more recent reprint, because they did sort of a throwback set trying to reprint some old cards. This card only had like 2 printings prior to this, so you're actually looking at like the almost original version of this card, which is funny. But yeah, this card is nuts. This card is insane.
Yeah, as many as possible can be a high number.
Yep. Well, actually, in Yu-Gi-Oh! It means only 5. Remember, you only have 5 zones, but 5s, and when everything has haste, 5 is enough to still kill, which is all that matters. There was decks called Reasoning Gate decks, and that would take advantage of this. They try to get all their cards to the graveyard as fast as possible.
Yeah, 5 monsters with the average 1500 attack is enough for lethal.
There's so many ways to
15, 30, 45, 60, 75. Okay, you're missing 500. Fuck. Aha, surprise, you actually have something in the extra monster zone too.
Card. You activate this card, pay 1,000 life points. None of your opponent's monsters with attack equal to or less than the life points you paid can attack. You pay like 3,000 life points and you shut down all injection fairy lilies and such.
Well, fairy lily would go to 3,400, so you have to pay 4,000. But,
of course.
Yes. Aside from that, yes. Your logic of how this card works is correct.
That was annoying.
I like the concept. The control mage likes this.
I got the unique drop for it, so
I
cool.
feel like So with the Yu-Gi-Oh! 2 brain...
This is Yu-Gi-Oh! 1 still. This is Yu-Gi-Oh! 1.
Yeah.
Yep. This came out remember. This was the set after Dimension Fusion came out, so still 2004.
I need to go back to some of the toxic cards you showed me, and remember whether or not continuous traps get removed in this game.
So I want to know, continuous trap cards, especially in older Yu-Gi-Oh! There were ways to remove them, but those ways, I will say, were fewer and further between. A lot of the best ways to remove these types of cards were actually restricted to 1, or just straight up banned because they were... So, for instance, there was a card that just says, target a spell and trap your opponent controls, and destroy it. That was limited to 1. There's another one that just says, destroy all spell and trap cards on the field. That was limited to 1. There was like a monster that had the ability to pop a spell or trap card. I'm giving you like the best of the best. There's like other ones that are a lot worse that sometimes people would play. So there were ways, but I will say it's not like you're always going to have access to a way to remove it at all times. In Yu-Gi-Oh! 2, yes, 100%.
I do like the increased the inclusion, way more event tiles, which the original is severely lacking in. Seems to be something they did a lot in the 3DS era.
Correct. But when you actually can keep it around,
there weren't that many event tiles in 3 as well, but again, the dungeon design was just so good that it didn't really matter, in my opinion.
So, it's not like there weren't ways to protect the cards.
So it's one of those control mage cards.
Correct.
I guess the other question is how common is like...
Oh god, this is blood, isn't it?
They want to just reach out and shoot you for eating too much life.
Burn exists, but burn was not the ideal strategy
Cool.
by any stretch of the imagination. At this point, the best decks were just good stuff decks, where you kind of just mash together some of the best like injection.
Healing
cards,
spots like those are
where you
fucking
kind of
useless.
Smash all these good cards together.
Though.
Maybe they had a little bit of synergy, but for the most part, it was just you're just kind of playing good stuff. There were burn decks, but like I said, fewer and further.
I don't feel like I see... I really don't remember things we've done. A lot of the monsters with weird power spikes. It seems like, you know, they get into the 3,000 range.
Like I said, 3,000's typically, especially old Yu-Gi-Oh! 3,000's the top end, 100%.
Yeah, so it's really easy to kind of predict what we're doing here and just slam this down on that number. If you can do that early on and they just can't attack, I can see how taking a phase of the game away from somebody could be wonderful. I mean, toxic. Yeah, imagine having this like on your first turn. Just make people miserable. Especially since it's one-sided, you can attack. You don't have to play like a creatureless control deck.
Correct.
You just shut down their side. I don't know how great it is in multiples, other than just if it's that good to have it on turn 1, you want it in multiples so you get there.
Or what gets destroyed. Granted, it's possible.
Yeah, pay another 4,000. See what happens. It's this busted. It feels like it shuts down the main mode of the game. It feels like it does it in a way that is somewhat permanent and like just the whole game on its own, which is miserable, which means people wouldn't like it. They want it banned. You restricted this. How much worse / better is it? I don't know. Are there ways to tutor trap cards?
At this point in Yu-Gi-Oh's history, I would say, so you basically had to draw.
It would be okay in restricted circumstances. You also have to have it like really early. You take 1 or 2 bumps, and this probably just doesn't really want to do. It also restricts how much life you can bring elsewhere. Unlike a lot of these like big cards, it's kind of like you have to have a life for this when you're on
It's hard on you.
I can see so many ways that you could find, but like all of the signposts you're giving me are not fine.
Okay.
And I think that's when I think of magic format, like if there's magic cards, let's say your opponent's cards can't attack, like propaganda, things like that. You can pull this up the format, it's like but all the things you're saying imply that those things just weren't that good to the game when this was made. The signals say that at some point this card should
Okay.
I would say print 4 ways to remove it and stuff, but I get it, it's an internal format, and this is always like the best for shutting down. It happens in a lot of games, it's bad. I still think restricted might be fine, but it's just as painfully annoying that they had this on turn 1. Which case, you guys can see I don't know. The signposts are saying banned, so I'm gonna...
Signposts are saying banned, so we're gonna go final answer. And I'm gonna show you this one.
The white monsters here controls face up. This card is this card is face up on the field monster here. I don't think so.
Okay, maybe not. That's okay. I've done a lot of this. Sometimes I forget to joke. But it's Swords of Field. Very classic dancing. Actually, used for themselves. And as you can see, all of Revere Fight is based off Swords of Field. The whole purpose of Swords is so that your opponent can attack for 3 turns. And very powerful cards, so much so that it was actually limited to a singular copy, just because of the fact that it slows the game down for a very long period of time. It's essentially a draw 3 if you didn't count it over the course. A very annoying card. A lot of people really hate this card. And so much so, Wall of Revealing Light was released later, and we see when card games betray certain things. So, similar effect. It was in a trap card this time, which means it can be used reactively. The difference is, though, the wall doesn't go anywhere. The wall is permanent unless the opponent has a way to answer it. And this was actually annoying enough to get the card also restricted. It's never banned, just solely restricted. Funny enough, Wall was also a combo piece for a combo deck, because it was a way to get your life points down very low very quickly to generate stuff. And, yeah, so another card that just made its way onto the limited list as a result, and just a card that was very annoying. Very, very annoying. So not ban-worthy, but still a very annoying card. So you were very close. Very close.
Yeah, really close. I'll take close.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's fine. How did you not show me this during the toxic video?
Because it's not particularly toxic now. I think in the this card's unplayable. You would never play this card today. Because you can just destroy stuff so easily. That card's unplayable. But early Yu-Gi-Oh, you would not be happy to see this flipped on you. There's actually, if people play like sealed or limited formats, if Wall of Revealing Light figures its head in there, if you don't have spell trap removal, you literally lose the game. Because you just can't deal with this card. So that's fun. So it's annoying under the right circumstances, but by Yu-Gi-Oh 2, this card is fun. Okay. A lot of light point cards. I'll show you some different costs of what's
Night Hunter? Or, oh, look at this artwork. Look at this.
This is rarity. Just wait. This is rarity. Nobody sent it here. Little guy. It's rare.
I'm with it so far. You can discard one card to target one card on the field. Roll a 6-sided die, destroy the target unless you roll a 1 or 6. Okay.
It's rarity. RNG points. I love their RNG. RNG points.
Yeah. Okay. Sweet. Sure. Oh my goodness. Attack is 1500, defense is 600. You discard one card to target one card on the field to roll a 6-sided die and destroy the target unless you roll a 1 or 6. The cost is that sometimes it doesn't work.
You have to discard a card. That's a cost.
You're at the second hand though.
Put it together. I can't, spell it all out.
You're trying level 4, right? So that's like the level you can normally start. You're gonna play a normal summon Dark Fiend. You want it, I'm assuming you want it to be close to a level 4. You want to enable some kind of reanimation, thing out of the graveyard, of which there are plenty. So I'm sure that's been a strategy like through all of Yu-Gi-Oh history. So if you want to enable that, discarding to this isn't a bad thing, and you might just destroy something. There's a good chance you destroy something.
It's a 66%.
It's fine. It's a fine chance that you destroy something. Like, you do it because the discard is something you wanted anyway, and some amount of the time you're going to destroy what you need to destroy. The only question whether or not this card is good are other ways to do the same thing at higher value. Like, if there were a card that just said discard one card and draw a card, right, that would be much better.
Remember, this is Yu-Gi-Oh! When you say draw a card.
I know, that would be insane, right? There's gotta be... But basically, you know what I mean. There's gotta be a payoff that's better.
God, that laugh.
I don't think this card gets banned, though, either way. So if we're playing a game of banned or restricted, this is a cool enabler, and I think it's fun. So, I think people run
Also, wasn't I supposed to be... Wasn't I watching a fucking Undertale video?
But it feels like this kind of interaction is way better than the trap card that just shuts down attack, that you guys can go back and forth sniping each other. The only problem I see is...
Yo, Days of Ruin!
Band Brothers, our Shimon sisters, here's here with another Advance Wars Days of Ruin replay analysis. Yes, that's right, it's been a hot second, but we're going back to the Days of Ruin train, baby. We're reviewing a top 10 clash in standard play on the map Dragon Fang. One of my favorite maps currently in Days of Ruin. Why? A lot of stuff going on. You got 3 different fronts you can fight on. This front over here, the middle front, this front over here. Days of Ruin might have sort of a bad reputation for being a lot more stally than Advanced Wars level. However, this map, I rarely see the stall. That's why it's one of my favorites. We also see a lot of bunched up cities. Hey, if Kindle was allowed in Days of Ruin, this would be a Kindle map, because the most contested properties of these 4 clumps of 2 cities right here. Get control of all these, you're probably going to win the game. Now, let's talk about the COs, because this is going to feature a new CO that not many people are familiar with. First off, let's talk about the new COs. We got Penny. Penny Plus. Now, look at this. It used to be everything in her zone was 10-10. And she has a zone of 3. So everything within that CO unit zone of 3 in that orb would get 10-10, but they buffed her. That's 15-15 because she was a little on the more underpowered side. She was in like tier 4-3, straddling tier 4 and 3. But now she's up there at tier 2 probably with this new boost. Because 15-50 is nothing to sneeze at. As you all know, her super CO power, once you get 60 unit energy charge from killing units. If you guys don't know the Advanced Wars Days of Ruin how things operate, I highly suggest checking out my other videos on Days of Ruin. I go into more detail on the differences. Anyway, after you get 60 energy cost, doing 60 damage within the CO zone, random
20 to 10
could be
that's
rain, could be
really
snow,
good.
could be sandstorm. Personally, I'm a sandstorm kind of guy. Lowers all your opponents' firepower to 70%. Really neuters. Rain gives them 1 vision around every unit, so it's the
I remember at this point in the game, my
Snow
Veil
is
definitely
every
was
single
already
unit's
using Caduceus.
movement by 1. So if your infantry moves 2, now it moves 1. If your tank moves 6, now it moves 5, etc. Penny not affected by that, though. But who is Penny facing? The new CO, Snowwind. Now Snowwind, you can tell this was written in Chinese before English because none of this shit makes any sense. I tried understanding this. It is not legible.
Holy shit, mucho texto.
Snowwind is a CO. She has a 1 CO zone. Just 1.
So same
Make
as
that 1
Slim.
CO. At the beginning of the turn, or actually any time during the turn, that 1 CO unit, you could spawn a mech or an infantry around it. You have to pay for it. You have to pay for it. So let's say I spawn a mech next to me. Pretty cool, huh? You pay for it, and it also makes one of your bases not work. So I have 3 bases, I spawn a mech, one of those bases won't work. So I can't generate a 4th unit, what I'm saying. You can still only create as many units as bases you have. You can only create 1. So I can create a mech or an infantry. That's it. So she's like Sammy kind of is. Anything in her zone, also air units are overpowered in her zone 30-30, pretty damn
Holy
good.
shit, Waylon
And the
2.0.
spawn mechs or infantry also gain 1 HP, and all fuel and ammo at the beginning of the turn. What's her CO power? Well, she actually has 2 power. She has her CO power and super CO power. Both of them cost 60, so they're equivalent. Her normal CO power, 3 range missile that does 5 HP of damage. I mean, that's like Rachel, that's like, you know, Bumble kind of deal. Pretty cool. Greatest accumulation unit value. I like this one. Pretty straightforward. Big boom boom. Super CO power, a little more complex. Now, you can build ground and air units in the CO zone. Not just infantry, but also a tank, mega tank, or whatever heck it's called, super tank, copters,
Oh
etc.
shit, she's like that one character
So now
from
it's ground
Wargroove,
units.
the one that I
Instead of
really
just,
enjoyed playing, that they
1 unit.
nerfed
So before it was this
to
infantry,
fucking oblivion.
infantry mech is
Because
produced.
understandably, she
But
was kind
now-
of overpowered.
It could be any ground unit, so you could spawn a huge ass, big, beefy unit. So, I'm more of the big missile kind of guy. I'm a missile guy. She seems pretty good.
Why did I have 3 unspent points on
Her music
Rema?
is a banger. Reminds me of Mario Golf. You'll see that I love Mario Golf Toadstool Tour. Phenomenal GameCube game. Reminds me of that. Both of these songs are bangers. Penny's is a banger, and so is Snowwind. We got Benchwarmer, 3rd overall rank in standard play, versus Frozen, 6th overall rank in standard. What more can I say? Top 6 battling it out. So at the bottom we got Benchwarmer and the Blue Boys playing Snowwind. On the top we got Frozen, the Green Beans playing Penny. Listen to this music. Does that not sound like Mario Golf? So, because infantry are so damn expensive, in Days of Ruin they cost 1,500 instead of 1,000. If you only have 4,000 funds, you can only afford 2 infantry. That sucks, but that's the reality. Things, inflation, guys. It's Advanced Wars. But now, 5,000 you can build, 1,500, 1,500, 1,500. You still have 500 left over. So, pretty standard stuff. So. So let's see if you will crown one of these units CO. By the way, CO units, you have to pay half its cost. The tank, 7K.
Picnic difficulty, by the way.
Infantry, 1,500, you have to pay 750. Half the cost, it becomes a CO unit. You can only build one, obviously. Build one, so that costs 7,500. And now, it's spawn an infantry anywhere around this.
I think I've seen all the enemy types by now. I'm just gonna fucking...
But that means you cannot produce from this space. So there's a trade-off.
Okay, I have to go try out this portal.
Now, oh, that's pretty good. I like this. You can actually you can dual cap this. But cannot produce from there. Pretty decent. Pretty decent CO.
I know it's gonna take me back to somewhere.
I think Penny's a better version. I'm a Penny simp, so what can I say? But I love the Mario Golf sound. I will not get over that. Listen, it's so beautiful. Listen. The second part gets better. So as the game goes on, you'll hear more of the music. It is 100% like stolen from Mario Golf. Or something equivalent. Toadstool Tour 2004. Anyway, got some bikes. There's just like infantry, but they move farther. They cost 2,500. They move further. But look at this double thing. Look, just keep spawning the infantry. Look at them. You're gonna win the middle with this many infantry. Look at this. It's crazy. Goes in artillery. Just look at this little gap right here. You can put artillery here, or here, surrounded with infantry. Artillery even better for snowing, since you have extra infantry blocking. So it's really nice to have. But there's an opportunity cost. Look, build infantry here, but had to skip over here. So there's only 3 infantry over here. Always an opportunity cost where you're making these units. So these aren't free infantry snow. And will you probably does not snow and cap, attack. Not a bad one. You're both
I'm so glad Beach is also a fucking Penny simp. Cause holy shit, I also like her a lot.
Attacking with that.
It's always the fucking little girls with me.
Maybe that's just me.
Terrible phrasing.
And opting to skip from this base to build infantry up top. Alright, I'm not gonna start hunting. Just let you guys hate that. We got tanks on the field now. So it looks like Snowwind is going to get the advantage.
One of these is bound to be 3 and one of them is bound to be 4.
Ooh, that actually did a lot of damage too. Gotta be careful.
Never mind, they're both.
Lose all your charge.
This one's 1.
Snowwind only got 9 charge. Remember, once you get 30 charge, your little orb grows 1 level. So Penny's will become 4, Snowwind's will become 2. So it kind of snowballs a bit. Do you want to keep your units alive? Brings it back, draws. You might want to build a mech here. There's a tank right there. Yep, those are mech.
Yep, they're both 1.
Still being a little careful though. This will not be captured yet, so there's a slight advantage there. Both are pretty equal on the sides. Blue's about to get this, Green's about to get this.
Oh my god, I think I remember now why I decided I didn't want to fucking do this post-game dungeon.
Oh, the bike attacks!
Literally the most unfun mechanic ever.
You do pay more for them than farther. They also have stronger stats.
It does encourage you to map, but...
I think. I'm pretty sure. So far, pretty even. Snowwind is getting up in the charge, 13 and
okay, I just realized this is kind of not very legible.
It's easier to get, you know, super. So, I would expect Penny to get superpower much easier.
I need to put in a marker for where you end up for all of these.
So I can reach there in 2 turns, honestly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, definitely. Yes. Looks like Green's gonna have to
I remember where 3 and 1 is.
Wins the battle here, probably wants to capture this property, so he has a 2k advantage. Boom, kill. Mech capping. But also, this copter, a little feisty over here. Got a stripe off on the recon, but I mean, where's it gonna go? That one. Surrounded the anti here, here. But it did force an anti over here, which is good. the anti-air doesn't really want to have to move this way. It wants to go. It wants to be tanks and it wants to move to the side. So I actually forced out an anti-air, which is not bad. Not a bad move. Blue's looking to expand. Really going all out. Green was a little more dispersed as a recon over here. It's actually both of them got recons. Pretty mirroring recons. So what's really any do Frozen? What will Elsa do? I've never seen that movie, by the way. I probably never will. But I hear the
Honestly, perfectly understandable. It's just mid.
Penny now has a huge orb.
Is that a hot take? You must be fucking out of your mind if you think that's a hot take.
Super easy to get a superpower. Probably next turn, the turn afterward. When the orb is 4, basically everything fighting is going to happen in the orb. You have to be careful about keeping it alive. You don't want to lose that orb. You don't want to lose that CO unit, because then all that happens. Uh-oh. Uh-oh! Just like that. Snowing! Oh, bang, bang! Look at that! Right at the beginning by Snowing. 44 now.
Holy shit.
How that's real for cover. Beware.
Bench warmer fucking
Kill an orb.
made an infantry their CO.
Did you build a mech? Or an infantry? It appeared? Well, something. Yeah.
I think the portal point for 4 is this.
Pretty scary, but Recon's looking good over here. Recon's looking good over here. I'm liking Snowwind's position right now better. But Penny's a tricky one. Oop, yeah, tricky one. Bye-bye, CO zone. Just like that, Penny's right in. Penny right back in. Boom, going off with the Recon on the side over there. Also, Penny does have 2 of these cities. Blue is only about to have 1. Also getting this city right here. And the city right here. Going for it now, but the tank goes, kills off 1 artillery. It's kind of headless. There is no CO unit. So what is Snow when you use the CO unit? Probably the copter thing. Because the copter gets 30-30. Don't forget, the copter, tanks and stuff, and you don't get anything. Air is 30-30. So that copter is going to hit on the truck. That's a strong copter. Better watch out. He's on the retreat, backing up a bit. Has the artillery though. Still getting some power. Secretly getting up to 44, 45 or something. Not secretly, but swiftly. But Snowwind got complete control of the mills. Probably just cap these and run. That's what I was doing. Just cap, run. And solid. You don't want to overextend. Okay. Cap, draw. And let green come to you. Also, this is not looking too great for blue, though. Not gonna lie. Penny is getting close to a superpower. It is doable to have it next turn a superpower. So you have to beware. What? You also don't know what weapon you're gonna get. Okay. So you're gonna need the anti-air over here. Already has one. Let's open this so you can allow you to reach the middle quicker, which is nice. Friendship over to the side. With the glowing orb of 4. Attacks in. Wow, attacks don't become. So, curious. Look at Mario Golf do here. Boom. Bad. Going up. Really needs to, what else to build a map here? Going back to the middle. Kinda did a little feint to the side, now going back to the middle, building another map. I mean, does have a 1k income advantage. But Penny is going hard. Boom! What is it gonna be? The rain comes. Thing about rain. When you use it, this rain's a little drizzle. The real stuff comes the turn after. When the fog comes. Doesn't matter if you're playing standard. The fog comes. And it is debilitating. Debilitating. You can only see 1 square in front of you. Doesn't matter if you're a recon, doesn't matter if you're anything else. Look at this. Can't see shit. Nothing. Penny, on the other hand, You can see normal fog distances. Recon can see 5, you can see 2, etc. So you're operating in the dark.
Yeah, that effect is fucking whack. I guess the AI it's not that great, especially when you're just trying to get S ranks. But in competitive, yeah, it could be potentially really huge. As long as you remember to pay attention.
You can't see anything. You don't know what you're getting into.
You're like, huh, you thought you weren't playing fog? Well, you are now. And in rain. It is hilarious.
He's already built up a pretty significant charge, already at 23.
But preferably Snow and Sandstorm are better since they don't do too much to the... they don't entirely change the game for both players.
That's a lot of charge points. That's the power of the big orb, guys. Big orbs like Penny, Brenner, they expand fast. You can get to superpowers pretty quickly. Whereas Snowwind with a dinky little 1, it's a little trickier. Dang.
Leave me alone.
Still holding on slightly to that income lead. Still ahead in unit value. Actually, still ahead in everything. Benchwarmers ahead in unit value, ahead in income, ahead in unit count. All of them are bad, actually. It looks a lot worse on paper and realize that on paper. On paper, Benchwarmers looks fine, but Penny has the power of the weather. Penny has better intelligence. She can see what's going on much clearer. So, each thing is worth a lot. What will Penny do here? I think there's one more turn of rain. Kills a copter. Oh god. Kills another copter and gets the best roll. Gets Sandstorm. Sandstorm, like I mentioned before, 70% attack. Your attack stays the same. But 70% for blue. These things are gonna tickle. It's gonna be like facing Stern.
It's a 30% decrease.
70% firepower. Don't forget, the turn you use your superpower, everything is 15-15 pending. Everything outside of everything is 15-15. So you have 15 attack, 15 defense, and these guys have 70 attack. So imagine this tank on this plane right here. This tank attacking it would lose the engagement, even if it struck first, because that has extra defense and extra offense. You have 70%. Awful. What did Benchwarmer do though? And Snowwind fight back. She's got higher defense, so look at that, can't even kill off that ant. Trying to kill off that rock. Even my rocking. Even this damn rocking. Look at it. Hardcore rock. Meteorite. Fusion. Igneous. Igneous rock. Church. Anyway, Penny's just like method. Boom, bang, strike while the iron is hot. There's a sandstorm going on. I'm going Darude on it. So I'm attacking in. I'm murdering your CO unit. But I didn't quite kill it. Close. But I guess now, bro, the heading value. The heading. Behind on income, 1K. But I mean, not for long, seemingly. What can Snowwind do here? Just tickling units. Tickle, tickle. Tickle, tickle. He probably wants to combine that CO unit. You don't want to let it die like that. Probably combine the copter. Or not. But maybe not. But just giving up one of the properties. Okay. Boomba. Bang.
Let's just murder the turtle.
Bang, and also already at 60! CO unit's already at 60! Man, snowballing is real safe. Days of Ruin. Already at 60. Ready for another super. This weather may never end for the rest of the match. That's one thing about Penny. It's random weather, but goddamn, there's gonna be weather. That's gonna be it.
This is nice with Penny. Weather's actually a thing that matters. There isn't a single... I guess... No, never mind. Olaf has Snow and Drake has Rain, respectively.
Has the advantage earlier on, more of a rushing style. Penny's a slow burn. Penny's like Papa. Penny's like an Olaf. You just get that where they're going.
Jesus
As long as the
Christ.
game goes on, you don't care. It's gonna be permanent weather. No one needs the game to end early, but that becomes an advantage, but... Oh god, what's this now? More rain. More rain, and the artillery's coming in. You won't even be able to see it. Because they can shoot you, but you can't shoot it because you can't see anything. Oh, that's diabolical. That's diabolical for Penny. What can Snow Wind do here? Luckily for him, overextended. And Snow Wind punished the overextension. Okay, doing a little bit of damage. So you can't even see the artillery. Okay, killing off enough copper at least. It's just being a suicided unit because there's an anti. We'll lose that copter. Super overextended, but. And he's putting foot on the gas. Bonk. And then going for the kill here. Good unit. No more charge. Oof. And the artillery shot, pot shot on the left. Oh, that hurts. That hurts. Winning over here. Winning over here. Winning in the middle. This is like the triple crown for Frozen. How could Snow Wind come back from this? Is it possible? Is it possible? Half the unit value. Only thing going in the favor. Overextension. And reinforce much quicker. Will it be enough, though? To punish the units that are too close. It stops the capital. Frozen does have an income advantage, 3k. But doesn't even have a CO unit. It used to go to CO unit to get, like, use a CO power, get it like a missile or something going on. Actually, there is a CO unit randomly over here. I don't think that's gonna work out. Just kidding. Oh, just kidding. Oh, man. Ooh, just getting clobbered in the middle. Bangs. Ooh, man. Ooh. Brutal. Oh. Start turning through. If there's any of it going for this cap, or you really combined for the cap, but that is just. It's Snow Wind and Mario Golf are back in this? And there's an anti-air right there, for God's sake. You can't even reach it. It's gonna kill the copter. Permanent weather. I mean... Oh, gotta sit in the storm. This might be the final blow. I mean, how does Snow Wind come back from this? Bonk. Capturing the properties on the side, too. 70% firepower for 3 more days. Just murdering unit after unit. Killing the copter, killing the infantry. Killing off the biker bomb. Unit count 29 to 16. It's just domination, man. This is 1/3 of the unit value. Yeah, those are missiles resigns. Well, that's a showcase of the new CO Snow Wind. Well, not new, I think she's been around a year now, but I haven't really reviewed many games. I have a few thoughts. I think that Snow Wind had some play early on in the game. I think the issue, he played her very well at the beginning, got the momentum. Like, I think things are looking pretty decent here. Capture these two? Really good. You already have an artillery. Just don't overextend. I think that was the issue with the overextension. What happened on this turn? Did shift over here. I remember shifting over here. I think you needed to have something covering this infantry. So it's pretty hard to see what went wrong. The Rangers really debilitated Blue. Hard to say. Maybe it was just the weather. You know, like heavy maybe just better CO. Maybe that's what it was. I thought Benchwarmer played pretty damn well as Snowwind. Definitely an early advantage, but just kind of evaporated with all the weather that kept coming and going. But anyway, it's an interesting game. I always like looking at the PCO, see what's going on, especially if they have good music. So anyway, I hope you guys were entertained. Hope you guys learned something, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Proceed.
What you got for me? Thanks. I got some new goods. Go on, take a look. Here you go.
Oh, who the hell is supposed to be able to wear this?
Here you go. Here you go. what you got for me? Thanks. Is that all you came for? Here you go. Thanks for the business.
Nothing to it. It's you. You've made a wise choice.
Here you are.
Is there anything? Well, off you go.
Welcome to the room. Very well. Then allow me to show you to your room.